Greetings everybody and welcome to Thursday Night Fights here on YouTube. We are in Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux and I am using version 5.9. 5.9 is a closed beta, which means it is for the internal beta testers only. The most recent available version for the public is linked in the description. That is version 5.2. You are going to see differences between 5.9 and 5.2. You don't even need to ask about that. You're going to see things and see me doing things here in 5.9 that you will not have available in 5.2. 5.9 is very close to being beta 6 ready. There is a beta 5.10 that the developers are working on, and that is the build that is active with them. They are testing with that. I'm one version back. We talk about the differences and the bug fixes several times a week, so they have an even more advanced version than I do. As usual, there's not going to be any mobile versions. It will be out for PC and Mac by proxy Linux. If you want to play it on mobile, then you would want to get a Windows mobile device like a Lenovo Lego or an ROG Ally or Steam Deck, anything like that. So, as you know, on Thursday nights, which is the normal, but it is a little bit more like early Friday morning today, but yeah, we're going to push that aside and still call this Thursday Night Fights. I like to do 5 PvP matches. What we've got here is that I'm on my standard save that I use when I'm doing the streaming. This save was created in 5.9 to see what progression would be like when everybody resets during beta 6. I am now not facing a restriction for PvP, which is why you don't see Notepad pinned over this. And I will go ahead and explain the team that we've got going here. So, during the streams over the last 2 weeks, I've been using the Solar Phase Array from the Vision Spec Ops. It lets the agent tank when the buff is up, and then you essentially do Vision's density shift in order to avoid attacks. As you may remember back during the original game, for the beginning part of the game, I don't know how long it lasted, but we know it at least made it up to when, roughly when Ghost Rider was having his Spec Ops. Where it died after that, I don't know, but Playdom had something available called phase tanking. What that was is that you would take a character, more than likely the agent, you would get the agent phased, but then he would be set up to tank through something like the Blade of the Guardian or the Solar Array that I'm using here, whether it be a full-time passive that the agent tanks or something that is activated through gadget. The agent would tank but be phased, and you would never really be able to hit the agent unless you were using magic or psychic attacks. Playdom considered that to be too strong and did away with phase tanking so that you cannot tank or protect when you are phased. Now, the density shift that happens with the Solar Array is a bit like phase tanking, except you're not actually phased. You just have a buff that is very, very similar to it, and that's what we're going to be doing here. So the Cosmic Cardinal and the Ruby Quartz Rifle are counter weapons. I am using those so that Union Jack will get engaged as he will join in on the counters. The Savant Spear is so that I start with an initial shield, and then there is the Solar Array, which says that I will tank when the buff is up. You could go ahead and take out the Savant Spear and put in something that makes you tank full time, like the Blade of the Guardian, which is also a counter weapon. I could actually do that. I could take away the Ruby Quartz Rifle and put in the Blade of the Guardian there. Of course, the Cosmic Cardinal is one of the best counter weapons in the business. It is a little bugged right now where it seems to be granting everybody an extra turn when the Cosmic Cardinal procs, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to complain. Angel is here to provide some buffs for the team and a little bit of sustain and everything. And in the off event, my agent manages to get killed, Angel can resurrect him if the buff is working correctly. So I noticed that my Union Jack is not ISO'd, which would explain some of the lack of primary damage that he does at times. So I've got stamina and accuracy up. Let's see. Precise is just more accuracy. I think I want a strong or a violent. Yeah. Actually, I've got enough violence, so I'm sort of doing this one on the fly. Angel is already kitted out. My agent is kitted out, and Angel is kitted out. I did not notice that I had been kind of neglecting Union Jack's ISOs over there, but that should be good enough for now, whereas attack, stamina, and accuracy are 5 bars. If you were going with the PKB method, which was Pot Kettle Black, who used to do ISOs back in the day, you want to 5-bar your health, your stamina, your attack, and accuracy, and then you pick whether or not you want defense or evasion. Now, initially, he did not include stamina because he was ISOing the heroes for PvP, and PvP did not have stamina issues until well after Molly Hayes had been around. So his provisions don't have anything for stamina, but that did come into play later on, and you do need to take that into account. So if I was to use the PKB method, I am lacking in health and either defense or evasion at this point. I think for Union Jack, I would probably go with defense. So whenever I opened up the next 2 slots, I would probably try to get some health and defense in there, and I believe that occurs under green. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it and do our 5 fights. All right, so we have an interesting team of Quicksilver and Black Widow. This is not a combo I've seen before. It is a tactician and it is a scrapper. So they have an advantage over me, Bruiser on Scrapper, and they have an advantage over me with Scrapper and Infiltrator. So I'm in a tiny bit of trouble here. We do know there's going to be a lot of melee over there, so I think the first thing for me to open up with is Trench Warfare, which is the anti-melee one. Get a nice Cosmic Cardinal proc, which gives us... Angel's pre-counter generalized went off. So now I don't need to worry about the Bruiser. That is good. The Ruby Quartz Rifle counters, which Union Jack might join in on. Alright, so my agent is kind of hurt by these debuffs over here. We have not generalized Quicksilver yet, so I'm going to avoid him, but we have a Tactician Black Widow. May as well go ahead and get my Infiltrator bonus on over there. So they have 2 up on me, I have 1 up on them. Pre-counter from Union Jack. The shield from the Savant Sphere mostly holds. Lead the Charge isn't exactly working particularly well right now, but I'm going to do it for just a little bit of extra damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Aspersio, which will increase my team stats. Somewhat decent damage over there. We are definitely mega hurt over here from that initial attack from the enemy agent. Union Jack got an extra turn there, and that was because of the Cosmic Cardinal, which is a bug that I love. I hope it doesn't get fixed. The Scroll of Angelob is supposed to remove buffs on my side, remove debuffs on their side. Unfortunately, the buff removal, debuff removal is a little broken in 5.9. It will be fixed in 6. My team is just about dead. I think every time their turn comes up, they're going to be dead. So I may as well try to go out with style over here. Ooh, Angel dies to dots. I had the chance of placing that buff on my agent that would resurrect him. I don't really have dots going on the enemy team over here, so I think I'm pretty much screwed at this point. But maybe I can take Black Widow. Nope. Ooh. Ooh. But he's gonna die. Oh my god, this is... Wow. Came down to 766 hit points on Black Widow over there. Man, that was high drama at the end, but I kind of had a feeling the whole way that I was going to lose. That pre-counter from Union Jack tried to keep us in it, but it looks like it wasn't enough. That those dots really, really hurt. Okay, so we have probably a psychic team. They have a scrapper, which is an advantage for them, an infiltrator, which is an advantage for me, and a blaster, which is a push. So it's basically about a 1-to-1 over here. The Magneto shield causes some issues in combat. I should go for the agent first, but I'd like to see if I can get my scrapper bonus going here. Sweet, I do. Okay, so now I'm good against melee and I'm good against ranged. He gets Psychic Tap, which is unfortunate because there is a lot of stuff for Angel to do. And I think I will go and generalize the enemy agent. Pre-counters with the Mahayuga, my shield takes most of it. And I actually do get a pretty big hit on him. He shouldn't have followed up with that brawl, though. Yeah, Phoenix Fire is currently bugged at the moment where she can use it even if nobody is dead. And that attack has put them way ahead over here. I can't do anything on Angel because of the Psychic Tap, so I'm going to go ahead and recharge. Oh, God, that Dark Sigil. I have a feeling I'm going to have a run of people using that, and yeah, we're screwed on this. That Dark Sigil is absolutely... Oh my god. Oh. Okay. She used telekinesis and didn't even move. We are in trouble here. This has been bad. Oh boy. All right. So here we go with these guys again. This time, I think I'm going to focus on the enemy agent. Quicksilver's damage is basically going to be light pepper. I really want to hit Black Widow and get my infiltrator bonus going. But that agent in his gear is really what's bad. We get a lucky recharge from Quicksilver. The bruiser has been generalized, so it's not so bad for me to throw a scrapper in his way. Good. Cosmic Cardinal proc. Union Jack joined in on it, which is what he's supposed to do. A pre-counter from Union Jack. But we get hit with the Dark Sigil. My agent avoided the Dark Sigil. And that is because of the density array. So there's that phase tanking that I mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and try to protect Union Jack from death, since we did not get to see that on the last fight. That's a pretty decent AoE. The enemy agent is almost dead. Shield holds. Um, the enemy agent goes after Union Jack, so I think I will spend this turn getting my infiltrator bonus off of Black Widow and a pretty good shot from the Cyclops gun. She's in the gray suit, so she's countering. Even though she's a tactician, she's acting like an infiltrator. Yep, go for Quicksilver. Get him generalized. Nice. Actually, a really big hit from the spear. Pre-counter from Union Jack kills him. Okay, so we are actually looking pretty good at this point. Yeah, okay. That was the key right there. And Black Widow's going to be melee, so let's hit her with that. Angel might fall apart. Alright, Angel lives. And actually, Angel does some really solid damage there. And... okay. We don't get to see Angel res anybody, but we get revenge, so we are now 1 and 2. Alright. 2 more fights to take over here. Let's see if we cannot wind up in the win column by the end of it. These guys again, but the solar array goes early, which means I might avoid the Phoenix Fire if she happens to do it early. We do want to go ahead and generalize the enemy agent. I get hit with the pre-counter Mahayuga again. Dylan is now generalized, so my infiltrator is safe. And again, there's that retaliatory brawl. Ruby Quartz Rifle adds. So the Ruby Quartz Rifle countered that additional attack that came in from the enemy agent. Again, let's get the scrapper bonus off of Emma. Organic Diamond goes, so she's going to take way less damage. Remember that in PvP back in the day when the game was live? Remember how annoying Organic Diamond was, where she'd just go so immune to everything? Finally, thank you. So what you just saw was phase tanking. The density shift avoided all the damage, and he stepped in and took the hit for whoever was going for. So Emma was forced to attack my agent, could not land the stun because he's essentially phased, and that's that density shift buff. Right now, the density shift buff is not going away even after the attack. You see how it says avoids the next attack. It actually continues to avoid attacks until it expires. Pretty handy. Let's do the AoE. Sadly, Angel has not done that pre-counter generalized in a little bit over here. He did it the one time and then just has kind of gone quiet with that. So my team is very solidly buffed and the enemy agent dies, so we are well on our way to revenge over here. Unless, of course, Phoenix... oh my god! We are definitely on our way to revenge. Okay, she's pretty much going to be ranged, so let's get that buff going. I wonder if he can resurrect himself. I don't know that I've ever tried that. Pretty big hit from the Cyclops gun. And yes, you'll notice the flare has stuck on the screen. That's one of the weapons that does that. That should be fixed going forward. So we're now 2 and 2, and we've gotten 2 revenges on our losses. So this will be our last match, and hopefully we have a different team. Oh boy, we have a very deep bleed team. That's a Kazuri, that's Infiltrator Wolverine, and that is Bruiser X-23. So that's good for Union Jack, but also bad for Union Jack. Ah, the agent protects. That is unfortunate. Could have had my scrapper bonus going. Cosmic Cardinal procs. Cat's Claw counter. Additional attacks from Union Jack. Let's see what X-23 does. She gets... What? I generalized my own Union Jack. Why? Okay, Union Jack is loud. Let's see if we can save him with that res. And then Aspersio. That is a very strange bug. I don't often have Angel in combat, so this is not something I see frequently. That Wolverine will probably be a major pain in the ass with his healing, so we've got to get this Protector agent out of here as quickly as possible. Yeah, that suit procs 100% of the time, and it also tends to double proc, which it's not supposed to. Wow, Union Jack, if he acts, he might bleed out, but let's try to get the anti-melee going. Not bad. There's a chance the AoE from Angel would take him out, but I think I will just go single target on Angel's turn. Well, actually, no. Now I think I will definitely AoE. 2 healers. Wow. Good. There we go. That is what that tanking is supposed to do. Then we get a counter. Union Jack does not join in on it, which is unfortunate, but let's single target or AoE. This one's tough. AoE would definitely take out the enemy agent, but his single target is rising up. Alright. Single target for the buff. Hopefully I won't regret that. We'll see. Okay, good. I don't regret it. That was a quick answer. Density shift doing its job again. She is not generalized, so let's go ahead and do that. And she's closer to death anyway. Okay. It is me and Wolverine at this point. Angel's buff did not go off. This is going to be tough because we have lost our scrapper. He's going to heal a lot and we're going to start badly bleeding. There is a very, very strong chance Wolverine will win this. I know it sounds strange, but what was... Okay, that was weird, but Angel's techno-organic wings saved him with a big dodge. If we keep getting these extra attacks from the Cosmic Cardinal proc, we may be in really, really good shape here. Plus, Angel's going to keep buffing us. And we're going to keep getting extra turns. Okay, maybe this is where it ends. That was close. You may be thinking, really, Napalm, that was 1-on-2 over there, and you were super healthy. Yeah, but Wolverine's healing is big, and we would eventually start taking heavy bleeds. So, okay, there we go, folks. We went 3-2 tonight. And yeah, that's one of the worst records we've had on these. This is our 18th episode, I believe, and I don't think we've seen one this dicey the whole way through. But then again, Angel is not necessarily a good trigger for Union Jack. He was there to sort of help with sustain while my agent attempts to tank and then dodge everything through the density shift. I could have gone Doctor Strange, and his healing and his shielding would have been good. You guys just never really get to see Angel though, so I kind of wanted to throw you that treat of watching Angel in PvP, which is definitely a rarity. But for this setup, if you wanted to run it, you could run the agent with things that tank. You can run the agent with things that counter more. So in all honesty, taking out the Ruby Rifle and putting in the Blade of the Guardian would have actually been the best because Angel provides buffs. So let's do one bonus fight and see what it's like with the Blade of the Guardian instead of the Cyclops gun. I want to make sure I don't get the Mercurial, which has the same model, but it has a different color, so it stands out pretty well. That's the Mercurial with the more gold color. And that's the Blade of the Guardian with the more purpley blue metallic color. Okay, one more fight. Bonus fight over here. And we have somebody different, so this is going to be good. We get the Solar Phase Array first thing, which is perfect. And the enemy agent is a tactician, Magneto is a tactician, and Psylocke is an infiltrator. So we have all the bonuses on our side. Big initial hit from the Blade of the Guardian. Really, really big hit. The Scythe of Ta, which is one of the Havoc ones. So it seems like we had a bit of hyper combat there. He got hit with a lot of things, but didn't take damage. Yeah, weird. Let me see if I can get the Psylocke. And get my... Yes, I do. So now I have my Scrapper benefit. Cosmic Cardinal procs. It's big. Psylocke recharges, which is extremely helpful. Quick action on the enemy agent. And, yeah, let's single target so we can get that Blessing of Heroes on my agent. Pre-counter generalized. There you go. Phase tanking and a Blade of the Guardian counter. I have only fortified, so I'm definitely lacking a lot of buffs over there. So that means you die. And give me buffs. God, another huge hit from my enemy, or from my agent. Seem to be doing some weird weapon dancing there, buffs and everything. Here. God, my agent is mad. My agent is mad at his record tonight. Pre-counter side bolts. I believe Union Jack would stand a chance of jumping in on the Cybolts if Psylocke was on his team, so she might be a good initiator for Union Jack. There's the pre-counter generalized. Yeah, okay. So we finished 4-2 over 6 fights. This last fight was an absolute slaughter fest. That's the way I like them over there. I mean, challenging is good, losing sucks, and slaughters are fun sometimes. I prefer the challenges, but sometimes you just want to get on the steamroller and mow somebody down. So, okay. There we go, folks. There is 6 fights for Thursday night fights. It is predominantly a phase tanking team, and we did get to see that many times. Glad for that. We definitely absorbed and dodged some critical attacks. One thing you could do if you were not trying to run counters with Union Jack, you could do something like the Flashing Eye, where you use the solar array to go phase. You tank a couple attacks. When the buff goes away, you use the Flashing Eye, which says the next attack heals you, or the Magic Mirror. You use that, and it says the next attack heals you, and then you're back up to the solar phase array again, so you're alternating between walking through everything or healing it. Kind of fun idea. Give it a shot when beta 6 comes out and you get the gear and farm for it, and maybe get that dark sigil as soon as possible, because it seemed to absolutely be wrecking a lot of face. If you combine that with Bane, I think things are definitely over, even in PvE fights. So thanks for watching the episode here. You can download 5.2 below if you are new to this, and I will see you Tuesday and Wednesday of next week on my Twitch streams, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one, everybody.